So good morning. So yesterday we covered understanding of what is circumstancing all about within Pega, how exactly you can make use of circumstancing and different types of circumstancing based on property as well as multiple properties. We can use circumstancing and implement something which is similar to a decision tree. You can use in a certain condition. If a certain condition is met, you can show the same rule but customized based on that property, and whatever configuration you have given on that section or flow action, you can showcase. That is what we understood, and also we understood in what scenarios we can utilize them. Perfect. So with that completion, we will go one step ahead in understanding another rule today, which is called as local action, is something we are trying to understand today. So to go there, before that, it is part of the flow action rule. So we will have to understand flow action. What is a flow action, guys? We have done a class on flow action, understanding what is flow action. Flow action is a container for section, yes or no? Right? We have designed so many flow actions where it has been a container for section. It's been a container for section. We have utilized that particular flow action and we have designed most of our flows with that flow action. So typically in Pega there are two types of flow action. Two types of flow action. Flow actions are nothing but containers for section. A section can be, put inside a flow action. We have seen that. So there are two types of flow action. So far, whatever flow actions we have been seeing in our previous classes are connector based flow actions. On the connector, you are going and configuring them. Yes or no? The connector, we are going and saying, okay, on the connector, we are saying, okay, this is the flow action I want to use when the user is on this particular assignment. That's what we have been saying. Whenever the user is reaching a certain assignment, this is the flow action I want to use, is what we are saying. There is another flow action called local flow action or local action. To understand this better, let me open my environment. Perfect. We know that the flow action will be part of a specific flow, right? Whenever we design a flow, we have designed a flow action, and we understood that wherever we have assignment, there is a flow action. Why? Because the user has to take some action there. That is why we are specifying a flow action within a flow, and the user is going and providing some value there. Yes or no? Doing some operation. Every assignment is nothing but a place where a user can, perform some action. Yes or no? We understood that assignment is pretty similar to the assignments which kids get, which means there is some pending work on the user who is trying to perform this particular flow. We have understood that. Let me switch to my application and then I'll try to go to the flow and show you something interesting. So far, what we have understood is we have used is a connector flow action. That is something which you have to remember, which we have done extensively. We have used so many times the connector flow action. Close this. Wow. Sorry about that. Admin at alpha tools. Alpha Auto Insurance. Let me switch to my developer studio. This is my application on which we are trying to perform all our actions. This is a real-time application, exactly similar to a real-time application where we are building an insurance application which helps users to get insurance. Let us try to switch to Developer Studio because that is where I'll be doing all my configuration. Studio. Perfect. Once I'm here, I want to take you through the flow to understand the basics again. When we did the flow, we understood that there are assignment shapes where the user, uh, you know, performs a certain operation. When we look at our flow, for example, the cust flow, every time there is assignment shape, a user has to perform something on the screen. Yes or no? This is assignment shape. Do we agree? We used it from this palette, assignment shape. Assignment is a place where a user is doing some operation. For example, he is providing customer information in this particular assignment. In this particular assignment, he is providing transaction information. In this particular assignment, he is providing personal vehicle information. In this particular assignment, he is providing address information. Yes or no? If you see, whenever the user is performing that operation, and if he's after he's providing those details, he is moving ahead. Do we agree? Yes or no? Whenever the user is providing some details here and clicking next, he's going ahead, right? Going to the next assignment. Yes or no? What if the user has to provide some information but stay on the same assignment? If you run this, if you see, this should create a case. Perfect. A case got created. For example, I provided some information here, and then when I click submit, this goes to the next assignment. There is no way I can provide this information and stay on this same page. Yes or no? See, now right now I'm in transaction flow action. If you see, transaction is the next flow action, next assignment. The user is on this assignment. Once he's done here, he's moving here. What if the user wants to stay on the same assignment and update the details? How can he do that? Is the question. So to achieve such sort of a requirement, we will be using something called as a local flow action. What this will do, this won't let the assignment to move further. You can stay on the same assignment, but you can provide the details there. How can we do it? We'll see that. Connector flow action, it performs actions on the assignment but moves the work object from current stage to next stage. For example, we are seeing the same thing here. These are having a connector flow action. A flow action which is configured on connector is called connector flow action. Does it make sense? Is there a flow action here which we have specified? And once you fill the details on this flow action and submit, the work object is moving from customer information to transaction information. Yes or no? So now to stay on the same assignment, for example, I want to provide certain details, but I want to stay on the same assignment. I don't want to move further. To achieve such requirement, we will be using local flow action. Where can we use it? I will show you. Don't worry about that. Perfect. So let us to achieve this, let's try to create something here. Okay, I'm coming back to my designer studio. I want to create a flow action. Under which category can I create a flow action, guys? Under which category can I? Sorry, process, right? Yes. Under process. Under process, I can create a flow action. Mhm. Right click, create a flow action. Okay. Before doing that, let me tell you where exactly I can call this. Okay. Where all place, what are all the places where we can call this? One place where I can call this is Mm, if I open an existing flow action, for example, I'm opening the customer details flow action. This is a customer details flow action. This has been defined as on the connector. If you come to the actions tab and come down to actions, do you see a indicator option on the actions tab? If you see, there is an indicator option where you can tell this can be a local action. Are we able to see that? Which all places can you modify and call this particular flow action as a local action instead of connector action? Right now it is a local as well as a connector action. Coming back again. So we are trying to see where all are the places where we can specify that this is a local action. Flow action design is same, but only you have to specify it as a local action at certain places. One place is in the flow action, you can go to actions tab and come down to the indicator part where you can specify explicitly that this has to be a local action. This is one place. Another place is you can also on the assignment shape, if you see assignment shape, there should be a advanced section. Sorry. Hold on. So one place is on the flow action. You can go to actions tab, go to the bottom and the indicators, and you can say this is a local action. Another place is on the design tab of your flow. Come on. Let me close and open this guy. Okay. So one place is in your flow action. Other place is, let me open this flow. Go to the design tab, and in the design tab you should get an option to call this as a local action. See, you can add a flow wide local action here. You can add it as a local action. You can add it from here also. So two places we saw. One is on the inside the flow action, we can specify that it is going to be a local action, and also on the flow we'll see how exactly will it help us and also understand where exactly we'll be seeing on the UI, to make a clear understanding with respect to how exactly we can create that. The assignment shape, I should have another option. Let me check. Okay, see, on the assignment shape in the advanced category, there is also an option where you can specify local action. See, all these are coming here because these flow actions are configured as connector as well as local flow action. If you see this flow action, it has been configured in the indicator as local as well as connector flow action. Well, we will see that. Don't worry about that. So what I want to do is I want to be able to, for example, in this current flow, let us say the agency details were specified in one of the flow actions. I want to be able to update the agency details when the work object is at the address information assignment. And user should be able to update the policy details from any assignment in the flow. So today, if you see, where's the work object? Where can I update the policy details? You can update the policy details only in the transaction flow action, in the sense only when the user is here, he can update the policy details. Yes or no? Only on this screen he can update. What if on any stage, for example, on any assignment when the user is, he should be able to update the policy information, because let us say the policy details can come at any time when the user is in this flow. Okay, let's say when he's on personal vehicle information, only that is when he's receiving the policy details. He should have an option to update that. One way is going back and updating to this stage, but he will be losing whatever work he has done so far. How can we give an option for the user to update the policy details wherever he is in this flow? For example, if he's on customer information also, he should be able to update. If he's on transaction information also, he should be able to update. On personal vehicle information also, he should be able to update. Address information also, he should be able to update. This is what we want to achieve. The policy details he should be able to update from anywhere. And the agency details, if you see the agency details, he's able to update here only in the transaction information, right? After transaction, he won't be able to see agency details. If you want to verify, you can see that. Are we able to see the agency details here anywhere? No, neither the policy details, because right now in our flow it is only available on the personal vehicle information, sorry, transaction information flow action. It is not available here, not available here, not available here. The agency and the policy details can only be updated here. What we want to do, we want to be able to update the agency details on the work object on address information, address assignment also, you know, address information assignment also, and the policy details anywhere he should be able to update. Today, are we able to update policy details from anywhere here? Only on the previous screen, right? See, if I submit, I'm here on billing on address information. Can I update the agency details here, guys? No, right? Because we are already past that flow action. We are not able to update here. If you see here on the actions also, we can't go there and we can update. We are not able to see that. So that is one change we want to introduce. Let us see how we can achieve that. Is the requirement understood? Guys, if you have any questions, please ask. The requirement has to be understood to understand local flow action. Is everybody able to hear me? Yes, no? Okay. It's clear? Okay, perfect. If it is clear, that's perfect. Okay. Okay. Now we understood that, okay, we are we have to introduce this new change where the flow action or the details have to be updated from anywhere for policy details, and agency details have to be updated at the address information assignment, right? That's what we have understood. To proceed further on this thing, let me go to my work class and create a flow action. To create a flow action, what will I do? I think I have already opened a new this thing. I right clicked on process tab and this is giving me this form, a flow action form. Let me call it, this is a local action. I'll call it agency LA. Agency local action applies to the work class. Why is it not showing work class? Alpha hyphen alpha work class. Okay, it was not populating, so I had to explicitly give it. You should watch where exactly your rule is getting created. Very important. Perfect. Now I was able to create a flow action, which is called as agency local action. Local action or normal flow action, both are flow actions only, but this will be a local action. Let us see what we can do here. As usual, same thing. You can refer to the section which you want to show. I want to show the agency section on the, whenever it is on the address information, the user should also be able to provide the agency details, because maybe agency details are coming later at a later point. That is why we want to do that. Right now I have just created one flow action which is called as agency local action, and to mark it as explicit local action, what should I do? I should go to the action tab and then I should modify this. Yes or no? I have to modify the indicator to local action. Understood, guys? All I have done is created a flow action like how we used to do all the time, and I have pointed to the agency section. The only difference is from the actions tab, I'm telling this will be a local action. This flow action is a local flow action. It's a local flow action. What does that mean? That means that whenever the user accesses this, the flow doesn't move further. On the same assignment, user will be able to go to these particular local flow action and update the details is what it means. We'll see how exactly we can do that. So right now we have created one local action for agency details. Same way policy details is also something which we want to show. Yes or no? We want to show the policy details also. I saved this. For policy also, I'll create one more flow action for policy details. Let me right click here, create process and create a flow action, right? Flow action. And then let me call this guy policy local action, policy LA, policy local action in the same class. Perfect. Create and open. Popped up. Now in this, what I want to show, I want to show the policy section. See how we have created section once and we are reusing it so many times on different flow actions. Doesn't matter. What is the next change I have to do to make sure this will be a local action, guys? What is the next change I should be doing after this, after I have created this flow action? Actions tab. Very good. We have to go to the action tab and we have to tell this has to be a local action. Say it is a local action. Save. Save it without forgetting, because Pega doesn't do autosave. You have to explicitly go and save. Now I need to call this local action somewhere, right? The address agency local action, where do you want to show it? We want to show it as part of address information assignment. Yes or no? Today, if you see, as part of, where are we right now? We are in address FA. Do we see that local action? See, are we able to see the agency related details anywhere here? No. Only billing and shipping address is visible. We want to modify it. The user should be able to provide the agency details even if he is on this screen, is what we want to achieve. Let us see if we can do it. On the customer flow, I will click on the assignment called as address information. There is assignment for address information. I'll click on that. And then when I go down in the advanced category, I can find something called as local actions. Yes or no, guys? Are you able to find that? Here, I should be able to provide the agency details. So I am choosing agency local action. Understood? Canceling, coming back again. The requirement is from the address information assignment, the user should be able to add agency details. For some reason, the agency details are going to reach the user only when he is on the address assignment. Now he should have an option to provide that. In our existing flow, we don't have an option to provide that. So we are modifying this particular flow to accommodate the agency details uh, capture at this level in the flow, which is the address information assignment. On this assignment, we want to configure that. Go to that assignment, go to the advanced section, figure out there is a collapsible for local actions, expand that collapsible, and then look for your local flow action. Can I find the local flow action agency? Yes, right. So I'll choose that and I'll say submit. Perfect. But today, also another requirement is the policy details also you should be able to provide, but it should be available from any assignment, not just on address as information. It should be available here, 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 here. One way is you can at a given point, you are only able to specify one particular local action on an assignment. Yes or no? But this local action which we are talking about, it has to be available on all the assignments, is what we are saying. We are saying this particular local action which we are saying, which is policy details, the user should be able to provide policy details from any of these assignments. These green rectangles are assignments. Assignment is a place where a user has to take some action. He has to provide some information, fill some data, do some checking, do some approval or something. You see this green box, you should understand that a user has to perform something on the screen here. Now policy details, the user should be able to provide policy details from anywhere. Why? Because the policy details keeps changing. Let us say he should have option to be able to provide that particular details anywhere in this flow. To achieve that, we already have created our flow action. What we will do, we'll go into our flow, and inside that flow we will go to the design tab, and you will see that there is a flow wide local action. Yes or no? Are you able to see that? Let me specify that here. Do I have a policy local action? Yes or no? Perfect. Let me save this. Now let's execute and understand. Let's create a work object. Today, like before these changes have gone the in the previous work object, these policy information was only available on transaction information. Yes or no? On transaction information, you were able to provide agency details as well as policy details. Only in this place, nowhere else you were able to provide. Yes or no, guys? We saw that, right? Before we executed this. So let us see in this new work object, or what have we told? The first requirement was for agency, which happens at the address information. We are not there. Right now, we are on the first assignment, which is my customer information. From here, for example, let us say the user got the policy details. He should be able to provide that. Let us see if we can provide that. Just go to the actions and see if you are able to see the policy local action. Am I able to see the policy local action? Click on this. Can I provide my policy details here? The policy term is 5 years. Am I able to provide? Submit. Where is the screen right now? Which is the first assignment. It didn't go to the next assignment. Has it gone to the next assignment? No. This is the vital importance of local flow action. You will be asked, what is the difference between local flow action and a connector flow action? Local flow action, you will be performing changes, providing the details, providing the information using that flow action, and the control or the system will be staying on the same assignment. It won't move further. On the same assignment, we are able to provide those details. Yes or no? We have not gone further at all. This is the meaning of local. It's local. It has not taken you further. It's not a connector flow action. It's a local flow action. Let us say we'll provide some. Vishwas being our favorite candidate. Let us use him here. Okay. Karnataka and Mysore. And let me submit. Now if you see, we are moving further because this is customer FA is nothing but a connector flow action, right? Customer FA is a connector flow action. It's specified on connector. That is why we are moving from this particular assignment to this assignment. Yes or no? Perfect. Now we are again getting the agency details and stuff, policy details. If you see, whatever details we provided for for policy, it is already appearing here. Yes or no? This is what we provided when we accessed it from the first assignment. Able to agree? Not able to agree? Right? Also from here, this particular flow action should be accessible. Policy local action. See? Why? We have specified this guy as a local action which is available across the flow. Why? Because we have defined it at the flow level. Do we agree? See, now I've changed it to 7. Submit it. The control should stay on the same flow action and the details should update. See, it became 7 and it's showing you here. Let us say the agency code is AG001, which will be Delhi. Perfect. Now let me go further. So right now I am in this particular flow action. From transaction information I came to personal vehicle information. Even here I should be able to access the policy local action. Am I able to access that? Across the flow we are able to access this local action. See, am I able to see? 7 is what it is showing, modified to 3. See, 25 got updated. Submit. The focus again stays on the same flow action. That is the purpose of using a local action. Don't you think there will be many such details which come in into a flow when you are working on a flow on a work object? You'll get details at random times, and that has to be, though the control has to stay on the same flow and you should be able to update. Could be, you're working on a customer service application where someone has raised a issue and he shared few more details, but you don't want to move it further because you're investigating and those details have to be updated on this particular work object. You can use a local action. Yes or no? See, that is how you have to think when this requirement comes in place. So we provided that. See, we are still in auto vehicle information flow action. So where is this auto vehicle? We are here, right? It is taking auto vehicle flow action. Perfect. Now, when we go to the next section, right now I'm not seeing agency details local action, right? Not seeing. Why? Because we are not on the assignment where we have configured it. Let me submit this and you will see right now we'll be in the address flow action. Look at the local actions now. You are able to see agency local action also, no? Yes or no? This local action has been specified at the assignment level. See, why is it appearing here? Because we have specified it here. At the assignment level, I have told, hey, Pega, can you show me this agency details because the user is expecting these details to appear here. That's why I have configured it here. Go there, can update it. If you see, the agency will be pointing to, should be pointing to 001. You can modify that. See, it's on Delhi. Oh, sorry. We got the agency details now. It's not Delhi. It's Bangalore. You can get those details, right? At any point in a flow. It can get modified. Yes or no? And your flow action is still saying on the same assignment. You are not submitting this assignment. You are still there only on the address flow action and you are able to provide that. Also, if there is any modification on policy level, you can also update that on the same assignment. No, it has to be 5. Let us say 27. Still it will be on the same flow action. Is local action being understood, guys? Yes, no, very good. Very important. In user interface design, this is very important. You should be able to understand this and implement. You want the control to stay on the same assignment, but you know, don't want it to go further. You can go for local actions. Yes or no? Do we understand the differences between connector flow action and local action? Both are created under process category. Yes or no? See, flow action, local action, as well as flow actions. Connector flow, both are created under the process category. But major difference is connector will allow the work object to move from current assignment to the next assignment, right? From the current assignment, this moves to the next assignment when you use connector flow action. And this can be only configured on the connector in a flow. Yes or no? Perfect. And multiple flow actions also you can configure. We'll see that. Don't worry about that. Hmm. And there is a concept called harness. It's again a UI rule. This uses perform harness. However, the local actions they use uh, both of them use perform harness to load it. When we'll see harness, I'll explain you that part. Don't worry about that. So connector flow action we can call using uh, one thing is on the connectors, of course. Uh, Using a link, a button also we can call that. uh, we haven't seen that, but we can do it that way also. But local actions is something if you want to say on the same screen, you don't want to same assignment, you don't want to go further, then you will be using it. That is a major aspect. And where all can you call it from the assignment shape, from the flows design tab, right? From design tab as well as from the assignment shape. We understood that, yes or no? If you want to call it flow wide, you have to use it on this assignment shape. If you want to call it on a specific assignment, go to the assignment and specify it at the in the advanced section on the local actions. That's what we can do. Also, something you will be seeing is there is something called as likelihood. If you open this particular flow action, there is a attribute called likelihood and it tells 100. What do you mean by likelihood in general terms? It's most likely most of the South Indians have breakfast as idlis or dosas. Yes or no? Same thing, the likelihood for North Indians would be like, chapatis and stuff like that. Likelihood is the bright chance of taking a certain course of action. Bright chance of certain, like taking course of action. For example, South Indian parents, most likely they want their kids to be either engineer or doctor. Like that. Likelihood is a attribute like that. So let us see uh, how does likelihood work in within Pega. To do that, I'll just create one sample flow. Right click on this work class, create, just to help you understand what does likelihood look like. Process flow, and let me call it likelihood flow tab. Perfect. Perfect. So this gave me a sample flow, a start shape, a end shape, one assignment for likelihood. Perfect. Now if I try to open this particular connector, the likelihood will be showing as 100. Yes or no? Perfect. So let's do some changes to this. Mhm. I'm moving just a little to the bottom and see what changes I'm trying to do. Ah, okay. I need another connector, so I will add three more end shapes. Let us say, wow, is my battery low? Okay, it's charging. Perfect. So I've added a few more. Just see what I'm trying to do, and I will explain it once it is done. So I created a flow, a sample flow, and then I want to connect this guy to this guy to this. Uh, Perfect. Is it connected? Delete and connect it back. Perfect. One likelihood and three connectors going out of it. This is just to show you that multiple connectors also can leave this particular one particular assignment. Let me configure some flow action here. Let me configure. We have many flow actions available. Let us say customer details flow action. Submit this guy, and let me call it details flow action. And I'll also call this guy as for personal vehicle we can use this. PVFA, personal vehicle flow action. And I will call this guy, sorry, address flow action, address FA. Perfect. So all we have done here is, let me save this guy. All we have done is we created a sample flow and then we added three connectors to it. Are we able to see how three flow actions can go from a given connector? Are we able to see that? Let us modify the likelihoods. Let us say this is 50, okay, and this is 20, and let us say this is 60. Submit, save. Let us run this guy. Okay, one change we forgot, the design tab. Sorry, and the process tab. PYKS. What is that? Case management default. Control C. And this has to be PY default only, I guess. PY default. And what is it? Has to be this guy. Save. Run. Perfect. So let us go and check what exact flow action has it showing. Is it showing us? Let me go back to the. Do you see which flow action has come in picture now? Only there are three outcomes from this particular assignment, but only one outcome can appear, right? And this is happening based on likelihood. Whose likelihood is high, guys? Address flow action. Do you understand how exactly address flow action is working? Address flow action got picked up because the likelihood of that particular flow action is 60 and others are less. It's 30, 20, and this thing. Let us say everyone has 100. This has 100. This has 100. Now take a guess which one will be picked. Take a guess, guys. No one wants to guess? Just a random guess. You could pick anything. I'm not going to hold you accountable for that. The flow action. I want which flow action? First, this one, customer details flow action is what you mean? Okay, okay. Let us see. Perfect. Let me run this. See, personal vehicle flow action got picked up. Whatever is straight through, that is the one which will get picked up whenever you specify or call it this way. Whatever is a straight through specified connector, the straight through specified connector, see, it is straight through. Enter, exit. Whatever is straight through, that will be picked up. Does it make sense? Perfect. So this is what I had for today. The takeaway from today's class is flow actions come in local actions also. You can specify it at a flow level as well as at an assignment level. And there is something called as likelihood, which helps you decide which flow, ideally which flow it should take. Ideally which flow a flow action should take. Uh, that you can specify based on this number, and you can modify it, and you can specify the likelihood also. When you don't specify it, it usually takes a straight through execution path while it is picking the flow action. Was this understood, guys? Okay, that's what I wanted to convey today. If you guys have any questions, I can hold on, or else we can call it a day.